Come on. This is the first reading I've ever done sober, so. Let's see. I'm also on a 12-day cleanse, and I've been on testosterone for 2 months, and I'm on my period, so I'm feeling a lot of LGBTQ. So, if you want to talk to me about gay rights, it's cool. Alright, I'm just going to read this. Sometimes when I get stoned, I get overwhelmed with paranoia. Like my whole left side is going numb. My heart races and I can hear the blood pumping in my brain, that sonic sound. And it reminds me of being little. The same sound in my brain, and I think I can hear it in real life. So I walk into my parents' bedroom, and there is Mrs. Sly putting pillows in their pillowcases. She did it real hard. My eyes zeroed in on that sound. My mom never put the pillows in that hard. Mrs. Sly was a cleaning woman my dad had hired when my mom got cancer. She came once a week, usually when my mom was getting chemo. Her hands were very strong. They were veiny and big-knuckled. Her nails were shaped like half moons, ovals. The cuticles pushed back from constantly working with chemicals. She had big 80s grandma glasses, the kind that had an angular side that dramatically dropped after the lens and then swooped up to her ear. This being the 80s, I doubt she was trying to be ironic. Her hair was a dusty blonde, and it didn't seem dyed from what I recall, and it was shaped in the classic helmet, probably set once a week or every other week. She had stiff hips that were strong like a donkey from bending over, scrubbing, and lifting, and I know this because I also have a donkey butt, a working class ass. She wore brown polyester pants, white keds, and a yellow cotton t-shirt with the low rounded neckline and the high cuff sleeves that scream, "I am a lady" shirt. I am a lady t-shirt. She brought her own tuna sandwiches, which she ate in the kitchen, and would wrap up her lunch break with the smoking of Virginia Slim. She would ash in a wet paper towel rather than dirtying the ashtrays. Her laugh was like the smoker wheeze that seemed to get lost in the mucus hovering in her throat. When Mrs. Sly caught me pissing in the radiator, it took both of us a bit of time to come to what was happening. She seemed confused as to what her role in this situation might be. "What are you doing?" She said in that way that one must realize that this kid and or family might have more problems than I want to know about. I didn't know what to do. How could I explain that I was doing this in the radiator behind the red couch because I didn't want to miss the Warner Brothers cartoon I was watching? I only got a half hour of TV a day, and I was obsessed with seeing cartoon characters get spanked. And God forbid, in the 30-second reality, but 15 minutes of my child reality that I was away, I would miss the much-anticipated spank of some cartoon's bubble butt and the howls that would ensue. I would rock ceaselessly in joy when these moments occurred. But back to me and Mrs. Sly. I just froze. I think I might even muttered, "I don't know." Like I was just as surprised in myself as she was. But the great thing about this story is that we finally found out why the house reeked of piss during the winter. My mom had cancer 4 times, double mastectomy, no reconstructive boobies, just wraparound scars that told the tale of her woes. She also got a hysterectomy. My mom got everything that I thought of doing to become a man. She's always first. My mom did not become that man. She only became a shell of a woman. I saw it with my own eyes. But had I done these things, I would be a man, I guess. I guess it's all in the details. I used to shove tennis balls and apples and hot dogs in my pants before I went to school when I was in the 1st and 2nd grade. I had elephantitis of the nuts, the biggest sack for kids under 8. When I realized the reality that I would not grow a penis overnight, even after begging, kneeling prayers to God, I had to take matters into my own hands. I had a group of friends of the penis-bearing kind, and we plotted in a 6-year-old fashion what I could do to get my junk in the front trunk. Fart with my armpits. Check. Physically fight another boy on the playground for no reason. Check. Kick ass. Check. Piss standing up. No check. There was my entrance to manhood. During our lunch, I drank 4 chocolate milks so that I would unequivocally have to piss by afternoon recess. Afternoon recess came when we all quietly met in the boys' bathroom. Trent watched the door, Doug and Gary remained in the background, terrified of getting in trouble. And Andy walked up to the urinal, unzipped his fly, and released an unseen tiny wee and let the piss flow. I followed suit. Minus the tiny wee, I pulled my pants down to my ankles to gain leverage and pushed my hips forward. At that same moment that I gloriously started to piss, there was a knock on the bathroom door. It was Mrs. Jackson, our soon-to-be second-grade teacher. "Are you boys all right in there? What are you doing?" She pushed the door open, and Gary flew straight into the stall bathroom and cowered in a corner. Doug and Trent just froze, stared ahead, and I, in my moment of brief manhood, panicked. I yanked up my pants, pissing all over myself, as I saw the blue pantsuit of Mrs. Jackson peeking through the door. I ran past her, feeling the hot piss running down my leg. Humiliated, I ran to a cement tunnel on the playground. Needless to say, I did not become a man that day. I smoked crack with a crack addict on the piers in 1999. What amazed me was the process of getting it. We circled Cornelia Street and West 4th in a zigzag of ways. First, the dealer was spotted. We walked by, gave a look, and then dropped $10 on the street near him. Then we walked around the block again, and when we passed him, we dropped a tiny piece of plastic rolled around a couple of tiny white rocks. Presto. I was so drunk that it didn't really matter if I was in such a hurry to get high, but the gentleman I was with was yanking me down the street like someone about to blow his wad. He was a gentleman. He wanted to be a vet. He had many dreams, and when perfectly high, would convince himself this time things were going to change. I'd always liked him. In my lowest of times, he sat over me while I was passed out on a bench somewhere in the East Village. Always asked me for money, and I always obliged. I wanted to know this feeling that overtook his entire being.